Hey guys, how's it going? BagsTV here once again. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be doing something slightly different. We're going to be doing a predictions for the Sony State of Play. As you can see, it's being broadcast later tonight at about 10 o'clock UK time. It's expected to arrive at about last about 30 minutes. So not too long, but not too short either. So what can we expect? I'm expecting that we're going to get huge first-party announcements, most likely some third-party announcements as well. And I'm also going to talk about whether there's any chance we'll get something fighting game related. Spoiler alert, probably not. So let's get going with the first-party stuff. So I think it's highly likely we're going to get a deep dive on Ratchet and Clank Rifts Apart. That game is coming out in June. There's been a bit of press about it recently from Insomniac. So I fully expect to get some kind of look at Ratchet and Clank tonight. It's a game that I'm incredibly excited about. Ratchet and Clank was one of my favourite games on PS4. I was a big fan of the franchise before anyway. So fully on board with seeing something for that. Other first party things that we could potentially see. We could see more on Horizon Forbidden West. That's another game that both my wife and I are incredibly excited about. Her more so than me, but I think we're both itching to play it. Could get something on God of War 2. I think it would be a bit of a long shot. It would be a bit of a long shot if we got something on God of War 2, but hey, if it arrived and we saw some new stuff for God of War, I'm not going to complain. Likely to see stuff for Returnal as well. I think it's highly likely that that we'll see something there. Returnal is the weird looking game where every time you die it restarts, but then the world is slightly different every time. Not something I'm particularly interested in, but I think we could see something there. I'd like to see more about Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. That was a game that went a little bit under the radar in the initial announcements for PS5. But I want to see more on that. That game looked really, really interesting. So yeah, interesting stuff all around, really, on the first party stuff. Excuse me, but as I said, I think Ratchet and Clank is probably going to be the centerpiece of all of this, as well as Returnal as well. But I am going to make a big brain theory prediction. This is just an out there call, and if it happens I'll take all the credit, and if it doesn't happen, please don't come crying to me. For me, my big brain call here is a new Naughty Dog game, Uncharted 5. Now I don't know what kind of form that would take, and I'm not sure if I even want them to do a new Uncharted, but I've heard rumours that they're potentially going to do it, so this would be a good time to announce it. Just slip it out just now, just go, oh yeah, by the way, we're doing a new Uncharted. So that's my big brain theory for the first party side of things. So now let's move on to the third party. So the third party slated games I think is going to be dominated by Final Fantasy 16. I think that's due for release at some point this year, and I think it's highly likely we'll see more about it. It was one of the more interesting games that was revealed last year. So I'm more than happy to see all the information you can get on Final Fantasy 16. I think we're also going to see some stuff for Resident Evil Village. That game is just picking up more and more and more traction. You know, it had a bit of a dodgy first reveal, but then after that, it's just been getting better and better and better every time you see it. Plus, I wouldn't be surprised if Capcom also brought some information on Pragmata. Now, maybe just a little bit more on it, but considering that game's coming out in 2022, that is a bit of a long shot. I think we could also see something on Mass Effect. Obviously, there's this new collection coming out. The original trilogy's been remastered. So it could well be that we see Mass Effect get some kind of big up from Sony here, just to be like, hey, we got Mass Effect coming to PS5, which, yeah, it'll make people happy. Then I think we could see an announcement for a new Spyro the Dragon. You know, I know there was Crash 4 last year. That went down very well. now would be the perfect time to announce that, yes, we are making Spyro 4. If that happens, you will hear the explosion of delight from both myself and Mrs. Baxty B. Seriously, it will go down very, very well, and it's one of our favourite games of all time. So please, 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 Spyro 4. I'm just going to say it every time one of these rolls around until we get it, basically. And now time for the big brain one. And this is one that, if it happens, I think the internet would explode. You heard that correctly. The internet would explode if it happened. GTA 6. It's been 8 years now since GTA 5 first came out, or 7.5 years since it first came out. It is time for a new GTA. It is time for Rockstar to do something new with Grand Theft Auto. I know they've been doing really well. Well, not really well, just extraordinarily well with GTA Online. Announce GTA 6. Give it a big open world story campaign as Rockstar does. Announce that your GTA Online will transfer over to the new GTA. You've got $1 billion game right there. Seriously, that's how popular this franchise is now. So that's my big brain call for third party stuff. Okay, so let's talk about fighting games. Are we going to see anything for fighting games? And honestly, the chances are no. I don't think we're going to see anything fighting game related here. I'm thinking of games that we might get some information for, and to be honest with you, it's already been done. We've had stuff from Guilty Gear. We've had the last reveal there. We've had the Street Fighter V Winter Update. We've had the teaser for Tekken. I doubt they're going to release a trailer here. They like to do trailers themselves. The only thing that I could think of is that SNK have deliberately held off their character reveal for King of Fighters 15, and they could slip it out here, because obviously those trailers are really short, so in a 30-minute presentation, it'd be a pretty good way of getting that one out there. But this isn't really a big brain call, but this is just something that I think every fighting game player predicts. It will probably not happen for at least another 5-10 years or so, and probably will never happen again, in all honesty, because of contracts and where things are. But this could be the chance to announce a new Marvel vs. Capcom. I'm just throwing it out there. I doubt it will happen. Very much doubt it will happen. If it does, the fighting game Twitter will explode, alongside with the rest of gaming Twitter explode if a GTA 6 gets announced. So there you have it. There's just some thoughts from me on what I think we could see tonight from Sony. Again, that's at 10 o'clock UK time, so that's only in a few hours really. I've got some more realistic predictions about deep dives on potentially Ratchet and Clank and Final Fantasy 16. Probably some information for Returnal as well. Plus my big brain calls. Let's remind ourselves of the big brain calls. For first party, Uncharted 5 or a new Naughty Dog game in some way. For the third party, GTA 6. And for fighting games, Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Okay guys, that's all I've got time for today. If you enjoy what I do here on the channel, then please do hit the subscribe button below. It really helps with the growth of the channel. Until next time, stay safe, and I will speak to you soon.